Hey everyone, it's Melinda. Since we can't go out rockhounding on my wonderful tours, and are unfortunately stuck in quarantine, I thought it might be a fun idea to share some pieces of my personal collection. None of these are for sale. None of these videos that I'm making are sale videos. They're just going to be, you know, sharing pieces of my collection and maybe imparting a little bit of information, maybe a little bit educational, depending on where you are in the hobby. So today I'm starting off with Opal. It is definitely one of my very top favorites. I have quite a collection here, although there are many, many other types, of course. I'm going to start off with the green opal. It's a type of common opal, and it's, pretty easy to find around the world. That's why it tends to be pretty affordable. But I just love the color. It can range from anything to like a pale ivory to a very dark green. The ones I have here are a pretty typical color, like a neon green with some beautiful, I want to say veining. I don't know, that's probably not the technical term, but it does look like veins. Yeah, this one was purchased locally. These two were purchased in Taiwan, and I prefer them. I think I love all of my rocks, but my gosh, I love all the different colors and textures inside these ones. Yeah, really lovely. The most common places you can find this type of opal is Australia, Brazil, the US, Mexico, and Peru. But there's definitely other areas as well. They're pretty affordable. But I love them. Alright. I'm going to go on with my common jelly opal. It's from Anatolia, Turkey. I might pronounce things wrong every once in a while. You'll just have to forgive me. I'm not a specialist when it comes to words. But I absolutely love this one. I purchased this at the Sudbury Gem Show. I'm originally from Sudbury, Ontario. And oh my god, I just love it. It was fairly affordable because it is still a common opal, even though there is there's not really any fire, but I don't know, this beautiful creamy translucency. Anywho, another word like often used to describe jelly opals is water opal. And really, these are just names for like semi-clear to clear, non-precious opals, like opals that don't have a really nice display of colors or fire inside them. But it doesn't even matter to me. I love this one. It's one of my favorites. Alright, so next, white opal. This is just your basic white opal that you would find in a jewelry store. There's fire in it, but you know, pretty common. Like, the opal itself is not common, it's precious, and it definitely costs a bit of money, but it's the type that we would see in, like, people's jewelers or something like that. I still love it. Alright. Next up is my Cantera Opal from Mexico, and they're generally only from Mexico. Let's zoom in on that one. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that fire inside of it. Oh. Beautiful. I just love them. So Cantera Opal is a type of fire opal that usually don't display very much play of color inside of them. But this one does. It caught my eye immediately because of that beautiful flash inside of it. But typically they don't need to provide that to be considered like a Cantera Opal. Cantera actually translates to quarry. And like I said, they're all quarried in Mexico from a specific area. The way you can tell them from other opals is because they're usually still inside of their rhyolite matrix, and they tend to look like this, like have this brown color or white color or both mixed like this one. So they're pretty easy to tell apart from other opals in that way. Ah, just love it. Pardon me. Next up is black opal. They're very rare in comparison to other opals, and they're pretty darn expensive. So the ones that I have are in jewelry because, you know, they're just very thinly sliced and then chopped up and made into jewelry, so it's not like it's a solid piece of opal. Still, rather expensive, and with peridot included on top. But I'm happy to have any piece of black opal, to be honest. So black opals have a dark background, and their colors can range from a brilliant red, which there are a few little red flashes in mine, through to green and blues and purples. They're all connected in there. And like I said, they're one of the most precious and most expensive, so I bought these in Thailand. Indonesia. Sorry about that. At a very, like, high-end kind of jewelry place that finds sources their gems from Australia. So I was pretty excited about that find. And so far, everything we've looked at is polished, shaped, with the exception of the common jelly opal, which is still raw, still in its matrix. And I love that. Just love it. Alright, so the next one is Kroit Opal. It's spelled like Kroit, but apparently you're not supposed to pronounce the first O. Kroit? Something along those lines. Isn't that gorgeous? I wanted a piece like this forever and ever and ever, but they are difficult to find and they can be rather expensive. So, it was tough, but I finally found the one for me. And mine does have a little bit of fire in it, in the point down here. But the pattern itself is what gets me every time. I just love it. So obviously this is a pretty unique opal. You can only get it from a specific area in Queensland, Australia. And they're obviously very famous for their pattern. Very unique pattern. And the ironstone, I don't know if you can tell because it's so shiny, but it is filled with ironstone. I checked the other day to see if it was magnetic, and it's not, but it definitely looks like hematite or something. It doesn't show off well in this video, to be honest, but it's quite metallic-y. So apparently when you buy pieces in rough, it's not over the top expensive. I'm sure it's still a pretty penny, but it's not killer. It's getting it cut, polished like this, that costs quite a pretty penny because you really need to be an experienced cutter to, you know, give that beautiful pattern its justice. Alright, next up is my yellow Mallee Opal. I purchased this one in the UK, in Glastonbury, and the minute I saw it, I knew I wanted it. I knew it had to go home with me. It was a little bit pricey, and once I got home I researched, and so now I know why that is. Apparently the Mallee occurrence in Africa, this is just a very specific occurrence in Africa, didn't really produce a ton of this yellow opal, so it's not over the top expensive like a precious opal with fire would be, but it's difficult to find and still a little bit pricey. I just love it though. Moving on to more newer opals, newer as in more newly discovered. So this bigger one is an African opal. To me it looks very much like a Wellow opal, but it was sold as an African opal. So I don't like to put names to things that I'm not 100% sure about. But look at the fire in there. It's just absolutely incredible. And it's a pretty nice piece. Oh, just gorgeous. I could just stare at opals all day long, to be honest. I absolutely love them. Now these are for sure willow opals. There we go. Oof. Oh, God, look at that fire. Oh, I just love them. I absolutely love them. A little bit of blue even going on. Us. They are just absolutely gorgeous. I love willow opals. I believe they are considered hydrophane opals. So they're fairly new. In Europe, they have been mining and selling opals for thousands of years. And in Australia, I believe it's been like 165 years or something like that. A long time. Like, generally, that's a very long time. African opals, on the other hand, have only been around for the past 20 years or so, and really they've only been marketed substantially anyways for about the past 10 years. So they're new to the market, and that sometimes makes it a little bit difficult when it comes to like appraising and pricing them. Oh gosh, look at the purple in that one. Oh my god. Goodness gracious. So they are obviously prized for their incredible 3D flame that they have inside of them, and really it's that people depend on when they're coming up with their prices. Oh my god, they're so gorgeous. Oh, they're just so gorgeous. It's unbelievable. I have 9 of these little ones before I invested in the slightly larger African opal. But these little ones, I mean, come on. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. There we go. Look at that fire, man. Ugh. Oh, goodness gracious. Like I said, I could stare at these forever. Sorry, I'm probably taking a little bit longer than you'd like. But I have to give them each their own justice. I'm weird like that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the most common colors that you usually see inside are green and red. So anytime I see a little bit of blue or purple, I'm like, ooh! Last one. Oh, wow. My goodness. Look at that. Oh! Honestly, I can't get enough of this stone. It's just otherworldly. It doesn't even make sense. Oh, it's so beautiful. Gorgeous. So while I'm here, I thought I'd do like a little educational moment and discuss something that is very, very commonly sold in like metaphysical stores and gem sales and things, and it's Opalite. Like this. I've had this ring since I was a very small child, and it was magical to me my whole life. I don't even care that it's actually man-made glass. So if you ever encounter someone who's selling opalite and it looks like this, a little tumbled stone, then you can absolutely, ask them if it's glass, and they should hopefully tell you the truth. Because it is, yeah. So this type of material, I have a little bit going on in these beads as well. It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong. I still love opalite. I still think it's absolutely beautiful. It's still a part of my collection. It doesn't bother me that it's man-made at all, but it's just good to know what you have, right? It's just important to understand things, I think, especially if people are trying to jack up prices and rip you off, which I would hope most sellers wouldn't do, but hey, you never know. It takes all sorts to make a world, unfortunately. Yeah. There we go, opalite. So that is most definitely man-made opalescent glass. Okay. Other names for it are argonon, sea opal, opal moonstone. They're all this beautiful, very beautiful, man-made glass. Alright? Now, actually, this is true opalite. This common opal right here. Opalite was the name, and is still the technical name for this type of common opal here. That's translucent, doesn't have much fire. But because people started selling this man-made stuff as opalite, true mineralists, you know, they kind of don't feel right now naming something beautiful and common opal like this, opalite, you know, so that people, yeah, obviously this is not man-made, still in the matrix, but, you know, I understand the need to want to differentiate from the two. So these are now called common opal, jelly opal, water opal, and they are natural, whereas this type of man-made glass is opalite, and it's not natural, unfortunately. It's still beautiful, though. Totally, totally gorgeous still. Alright, and as a little bonus, I thought I would throw in diamonds. And I won't go into it too much, but another little story. Here we go. Is this a diamond, everyone? Now, some are shouting yes, some are shouting no, because it's a complicated answer, right? These are actually called Herkimer diamonds. They're in fact quartz. Beautiful, double terminated quartz from Herkimer, which I believe is in New York. Absolutely gorgeous, totally worth, you know, adding one to your collection. I love mine. I wouldn't, you know, pass it up just because it's quartz and not a real diamond. But again, it's just important to know what you're buying and just be educated so that someone doesn't try and pull a fast one on you. Totally gorgeous still, and I definitely would not, you know, let go of this one. I love it. Now, what do you think of this one? Teeny, teeny, tiny. You want to know why? Because this is a real diamond. This is a real raw diamond. Obviously not like a super prized, precious quality one that you would put in like an engagement ring or something like that. It's rough and raw, but it is a real diamond. This is a real diamond. And it did cost, you know, a pretty penny, definitely more than a Herkimer diamond. So you know you're getting something a little bit different when the price goes up. You know you're getting something truer to what is really a diamond. It's very, very tiny, but I just like to have a raw diamond in my collection. I mean, why not, right? Alright, that's enough of that one. Okay, guys. One last look at my setup here. Here are all of the opals that I currently have in my collection. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed seeing them, and, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy my next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good day. Bye!